If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day.
We'll have to tell you which songs are inspired by your wine, like which songs were written while indulging.
I don't think I'll ever forget, David, you saying, be your best champion.
All right, let's have some fun.
To next year.
Start with this beautiful Wagyu short rib. We're gonna just coat it in the M&I spice.
I'm like, it's Sage Steele. Sage Steele's coming. And he's like, if it's Sage Steele, just write it for free. I'm like, great.
Join us as we savor world-class wine, experience culinary adventures, and discover inspiring stories from our dedicated community of vintners, chefs, artisans, and beyond as we go behind the V. Hi everyone, and welcome to Behind the V. I'm your host, AJ Harris, and tonight we're going to take a journey to the heart behind the V. On this very day, 28 years ago, Jim Valvano, or Jimmy V as known to most, took the stage at the inaugural ESPYS to receive the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. What many didn't know at that time was that this would become one of the most iconic speeches of all time. You see, in the midst of an excruciating battle with cancer, Jimmy knew that he was dying. After mustering every ounce of strength he had to take that stage, the words that followed were to be his final gift to the world, with an enduring message: don't give up, don't ever give up. Join us as we take time to reflect on that monumental day and hear from some of Jimmy's closest friends and members of the V Foundation family.
Over 28 years ago, my brother Jim gave a speech of a lifetime that continues to motivate people today. Hi, I'm Nick Valvano, former CEO of the V Foundation for Cancer Research. That speech was given by Jim at the first ESPYS Awards in March of 1993, when he was receiving the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. He was very ill and could hardly walk, but when he got to the podium, he gave one of the most inspirational speeches of all time, concluding with the famous phrase, "Don't give up, don't ever give up." Last year, V Foundation board members and some of Jim's friends took a moment to reflect on witnessing that speech and how it inspires them today. It's my honor to introduce you to this special video that I'm sure will make you laugh, make you think, and quite possibly move you to tears.
I'll never forget that night 27 years ago when Jimmy Valvano stood on the stage and faced down cancer. Told us all we needed to think, we needed to laugh, we needed to bring our emotions to tears. These were the things that he thought about.
I can't tell you what an honor it is to even be mentioned in the same breath with an Arthur Ashe.
It's been 27 years since Jimmy first delivered that epic speech, and yet through all these years, it's never lost its relevance.
I was sitting in the front row in the first balcony at the theater at the Garden. It was an exciting night. It was the first ESPYS Awards ever. And there was my friend, Jimmy Valvano.
And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was mesmerized, kind of frozen in place, inspired.
Time is very precious to me. I don't know how much I have left.
I saw him in my clinic on the morning of the ESPYS speech. He was sick. He was very sick. And he said to me, the first thing, I'm going to New York, of course, as he always would. I'm going to New York. I said, you're out of your mind. You can't do that. He said, I'm going to New York. Telling Jim no was often a very difficult proposition.
He was a dreamer, and he believed that if you worked hard enough and were determined and confident enough, you could accomplish your dreams.
This is one of the greats, and it's one of the greats because of the man in the moment and the message, and they all come together.
To me, there are three things we all should do every day. We do this every day of our life. You're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day.
You should laugh every day. You should do different things. It was one of the most moving things I have ever seen.
So I've had two of my siblings pass away due to cancer. And whenever I think of Jim and I look at this in my basement here, this speech, it really, in my mind, gives me a lot of thought about my family and the impacts of cancer and why we should all be trying to raise money to stop this deadly disease.
Valvanos and the Krzyzewskis flew up together on a plane from Research Triangle to New York. And when Mike helped him on stage, somehow he came alive and gave the talk of his life, perhaps the talk of all of our lives.
And I always have to think about what's important in life is to think to me of three things: where you started, where you are, and where you're going to be. Those are the three things that I try and do every day.
And he knows those are three things. There's something about us that learns by threes. He talked about every day you should laugh, every day you should think, every day you should cry. Three things. He said you got to know where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go. Three things. He said cancer cannot take my mind, it cannot take my heart, it cannot take my soul. Three things. This is a guy whose expertise was not speech writing, but he knew that in his guts, and it's part of why it stays with us.
What's stuck with me the most over the years is what he said that made me think of him as a coach, coaching us to ultimately cure cancer. When he said, how do you go from where you are to where you want to be? That's from a coach. You have to have an enthusiasm for life, you have to have a dream, a goal, and you have to be willing to work for it. And that prescription motivates cancer research, and it motivates the people who want to support it, and that's the thing that stuck with me all these years from Jim Valvano's speech.
Every single time I listen to it, I hear Jimmy talk about the emotions and the experience that I know that our patients must endure. And I'm always so impressed and so grateful for how Jimmy took what must have been the worst experience of his life and turned it into something that was positive and giving and enduring, the commitment to use cancer research to reduce the burdens of cancer in every way that we can.
Together with the V Foundation, we're making progress. We're finding ways of curing cancer that will ensure that our kids and our kids' kids won't have to worry about the same diseases that we've had to worry about in our lifetime.
And he talked about so many things that were relatable to everybody. You know, even if he wasn't a cancer patient, these are challenges that people face, that the adversity, that overcoming adversity, and having a dream, and seeing those dreams come true, and believing in your dream.
I'm watching television, and there he is. So rather than experiencing what I thought was the end, I suspect now it's okay for me to say that was only the beginning. What a profound impact, what a profound legacy. Aren't we blessed?
I had it. I'm 21 years old. The kids I'm coaching are 19, all right? And I'm going to be the greatest coach in the world, the next Lombardi. And
now I have such a greater appreciation for the courage that it took, not just to take the stage that night, but also to speak in the way that he did, not losing his sense of humor, not losing his philosophical self.
I almost broke my arm. I was like, it was when it didn't open. Now I'm down. The players are looking. Coach, help the coach up, help him up. And now I did.
It was as if the cancer had left his body while he was on stage. So strong, so passionate, so full of life. The best 10-minute speech ever.
The thing that really amazes me the most is the strength that he had once he got up on that stage. But then after the speech was over, he'd get down and he was like the weakest man in the room. But most of those 11 minutes, he was actually, really kind of the strongest person in that room. So it just, It's just kind of incredible. It's almost like that speech had to be made.
I went in for my first of 4 cancer operations, 1988, and it was from Jim Valvano. He was calling me from practice. He was the first person to get through to me as I'd come out from my operation. He wanted to see how I was.
There's so much inspiration in such a short time from Jimmy Valvano. Those of us that have had a chance to know him really appreciated what he was able to do for us through his courage. That night on that stage, when I had a chance to help him up and down, I just thought what an unbelievable human being this was and the courage that he showed.
I got tumors all over my body. I'm worried about some guy in the back going 30 seconds. Huh? You got a lot. Hey, phenomenal, buddy. You got a lot.
Incredible speech. Always, anytime I think about it, I tear up a little bit.
I just got one last thing. I urge all of you, to enjoy your life, the precious moments you have, to spend each day with some laughter and some thought, to get your emotions going, to be enthusiastic every day. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said nothing great can be accomplished without enthusiasm, to keep your dreams alive.
Recently, that part in particular is what really hits me to my core. And it's probably because of the battle that the Steele family is going through. Most importantly, my dad, Gary Steele, with his battle against multiple myeloma and prostate cancer. One of the things I've noticed about my dad, though, is what reminds me of him and his choice that he makes every single day, to look at every day with a positive outlook, a positive light.
The V Foundation from the very, very start back in 1993, and I was there when Jim first announced the formation of the V Foundation.
Steve Bornstein came to us. We were in Bristol, Connecticut, and he announced that he wanted to start the V Foundation for Cancer Research, and his father and brother had died from cancer.
We need your help. I need your help. We need money for research. It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love.
It's provided such incredible motivation through the years, for over 25 years.
We underinvest in cancer research as a government, and that's why, as a foundation, what the V Foundation does is so important.
They're helping me. We are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research.
Jim Valvano and the late John Saunders would say, job well done, but it's a lot more that we need to work on. Let's continue to raise money, and let's continue this fight against cancer.
And its motto is, don't give up, don't ever give up. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Every minute that I have left, I will.
And he was also talking to scientists and telling them, never give up in trying to find new and innovative ways to diagnose, treat, and prevent cancer.
How proud I am every time I watch that speech to see Jim, who knew he was dying, show the courage to stand up there and then inspire millions of people with his words of don't give up, don't ever go.
These are great ideas and inspirations for all of life.
It's timeless. It's a timeless speech. We're living in really tough times right now, and between the health issues, the social issues, and the economic issues, we've got a lot of fights on our hands. But we can't give up, and we can't ever give up on the fight to fund cancer research.
So we have our marching orders. We have to fulfill this legacy. Let's go out and make a difference.
I've got to go, and I've got one last thing. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. And those three things are going to carry on forever. I thank you, and God bless you all.
It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. It's true. These three things still live on through Jim Valvano's legacy and the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Every day, our V Foundation staff, doctors, board members, and generous donors and supporters continue to work towards Jim's dream, to achieve victory over cancer. We're proud of the incredible progress we've made in the past 28 years, but there's still work to be done. In keeping with Jim's theme, here are 3 ways that you can help our mission and join us tonight. Number 1, donate by texting Jimmy V to 888-908-9251. Number 2, spread the word by liking and sharing this video and following us at V Foundation and at Behind the V. Number 3, watch and share Jimmy's full ESPYS speech at the link below. His memory lives on in the hearts of those that knew him, and all of those who are touched by his timeless words. And always remember, don't give up, don't ever give up.